So it turns out when I escaped the void and then re-entered the void again, apparently I broke the gate. So I'm stuck here until someone finds a solution or I find a way out myself, but I'm too lazy and I'd just rather sit here and record a podcast privately by myself with no Tyler or John. Because quite frankly, one, John threw me in here to begin with. Two, I don't have to be around Tyler. That's a gift in amongst itself. So, I mean, finally you get to hear me uninterrupted by tomfoolery and no answering from John. And, I mean, I guess there's a possibility Reed and Chad are down here in the void. I mean, where the hell are they? I mean, I've been asking myself that question for years. But I don't see it. I don't see them. I don't see them enough. They're my friends and I love them. I don't see them. So, I don't know. What do I want to talk about? I don't have Tyler or John to just throw a topic at, and then they go, well, yeah, I didn't see it, or, So, I guess I'll start off, yesterday, it leaked, but the second trailer for the Dragon Ball Broly movie, came out, and it officially just dropped during the New York Comic Con panel, the English dub and the Japanese version. I watched them both. Just to be fair, I watched them both. A lot of people are blowing up about the fact that Dragon Ball Minus, this little spin-off chapter from the Jocko manga that was drawn a few years ago, is getting adapted, and it retconned a few things about Goku's past. Main thing being Goku was 3 when he got booted off his planet. But I guess either way he gets amnesia, but it kind of ruins the fact that Goku was just a baby and never knew anything about the vicious, malicious intent of his species. And so he just kind of grew up on Earth because, that's all he ever knew. I mean, he's an alien, but he doesn't care, really, the whole Saiyan legacy. And, it painted this aspect of the 3 Saiyans being born around the same time, like Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. And they're all from 3, different standings, Vegeta being the prince, Broly being this person that they sensed a lot in, and we're going to ship him off to another planet to just go do his job early, I guess. I don't know how they did it in the original movie. It's been a long time since I've seen the original Broly movie. Quite frankly, I'm really not a huge fan of Broly. I mean, I know a lot of people like him. Apparently, Western fans like him. Never was a huge fan of these big hulking guys. The only person really in any comic that I like the Hulk sparingly. I think the way the MCU uses him is good enough. I don't know if he can last in a movie on his own. I liked Ed Norton's movie. I mean, I liked Ed Norton. I think I just like Ed Norton. But that's a different topic. I could talk 45 minutes on Ed Norton in and amongst itself. But I mean, Broly, I don't know, maybe since Toriyama's actually writing it this time, there might be some good coming from it. And there might be some, positivity from that. And I just wonder how they're going to go, because they're trying to paint it like Vegeta always is he's just set up to be he gets knocked down. That's his part. That's the role he plays. He's supposed to not be the guy that ever beats somebody. And it'd be kind of cool if he eventually did. That's how I kind of wanted Resurrection F to end, was Vegeta to be the one to beat Frieza for the, quote, final time to get revenge for his planet that he blew up. Because, yes, it's Goku's planet, and he did murder his father, but that was Vegeta's heritage, his livelihood. He knew that world. He knew what he lost. Goku didn't. So, I was kind of upset with that Goku ended up saving the day due to time travel. Resurrection F is definitely not the best in terms of what we've had recently within the Dragon Ball fandom. But Broly, I guess they're painting him. Okay, it's no secret, and spoiler alert, it seems like we're going to get Gogeta in this movie. Just because he's never officially been canon. And so since Broly's canon now, they're probably going to do that. And since they're painting these 3 Saiyans, unless Goku and Vegeta do this team-up thing, because they already went Vegito in the Goku Black arc. So there's no... I mean, I just assume they're going to make Gogeta because, one, it's another set of merchandise you can sell. I mean, come on. I mean... There's no new transformation seemingly this time, so they got to have something new to sell to people. I mean, certainly I want a figure of Goku and Vegeta in their jackets from the first trailer or the teaser. I mean, hell yeah, I'll buy the shit out of those, for real. I like them. I like the designs. I like my Dragon Ball characters in casual, non-battle clothing, and I have many figures to prove that. Outside of that, I mean, Frieza's in the movie. Frieza's back to the original pink version, which is how Toriyama originally drew him. So that's kind of cool. It's a little nod, you know. It's cool, kind of like Trunks' hair, which is a fucking debate in and amongst itself. I'm saying in and amongst itself like 5 times so far. I guess that's what you use certain phrases when you're by yourself alone in the void. Because I'm surrounded by like eternal darkness and like purple wavy shit. I have no idea what's surrounding me. I should probably be quiet, but I'm not. I got a podcast to do. And the guys, like, they want to go meet for drinks tonight. And then tomorrow we're going to go see Donnie Darko. But I just don't see we're going to record a podcast this week. And I just don't see myself escaping the void. So I just rather assume it's up to me to do this by myself, and I'll just spit through some topics that I've been wanting to talk about that, you know, maybe it wouldn't get the most discussion out of Tyler or John or Reed or Chad or, you know, Penelope. I mean, God, we all loved the episode Penelope was on. You know, she's like this little talking mouse. God, she really brought the podcast together, and I really wish she'd come back from Australia. But she's at college, and, you know, you really can't do anything about it. I mean, she has to go find what she's looking for. She has a life she has to live. And I just hope she doesn't meet any of her dreams and she comes back to be on our podcast. God damn it. God damn it. So I guess that's enough about Dragon Ball, other than, well, I mean, Fighters is going to get more DLC. Characters I'd like to see on there. Give me Janemba. If you're bringing in movie people like Cooler, Janemba would be cool. Bring in some super people. Bring in Jiren. God damn it. Bring in the Great Saiyaman. I think he'd have a unique thing. But I think you already got 2 Gohans in there, but you got 17 Gokus. Obviously, if Gogeta's in the new movie, then Gogeta will come in there. I think Vegeto's in there already. 17's already in there. Anybody else that I'd like to see that jumps off at me? Get motherfucking Master Roshi in there. Come on, Master Roshi. Videl, give me some human people. I'd like them. Outside of that, I mean, I could think about it later. Like, this is where John would spitball some characters in, and I'd be like, yeah. So, I mean, like, I think, the Ox King. Yeah, okay, John, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Let's move on to another thing, like, that I'm really passionate about, that Tyler used to be into, and I'm sort of like the only person in our crowd really into it. League of Legends. The Worlds play-in stage is currently going on. Cloud9 topped their group 4-0. They're expected to make it in, so there's one team, but the other one team making it in. The other 2 that are already into the group stage are 100 Thieves and my boys, Team Liquid. I am unabashedly a Doublelift fanboy. I'll follow him from team to team to team, just because ever since the first professional League of Legends game I watched was the All-Star, where Doublelift got a pentakill on Ezreal. And so I guess it's just because he popped off that game. And Ezreal, like, when I did play, like, Ezreal's like the first champion that jumped at me. So I was like, oh, he's playing Ezreal. And then he popped off. And it's, you know, I just followed it from there. So I followed him from the CLG days where, I can remember now, like, you know, Worlds usually happened the final weeks of the season before Worlds are usually as we're going to Dragon Con, like playoffs and stuff. So I watched the one season where CLG just like fucked up and almost got relegated. And then the season, like, I think they just barely missed Worlds, and then they almost got relegated, I think. And it was just really sad time. And then I followed them through TSM. And if you notice the other 3 teams I listed, TSM is not one of the teams going. And I'm so glad, because I totally agree with Doublelift. Like, how he was kicked, he found out through Reddit. And Sven and Mithy for the new bot lane was just a side grade. Like, they're not an upgrade to Doublelift. Like, Mithy's an upgrade from Biofrost for sure, but to Doublelift, no. And so he just said he wanted to destroy TSM's legacy and just make sure, like, they regret leaving him. Well, they didn't go to Worlds. They didn't make the final to either splits. So it's pretty much like, you know, you rebranded into this new superstar team, and guess what? It did nothing for you again. And so while I do like, I think the only person on their team, like, I've never been a Sven and Mithy fan. I've always been neutral to them. I never jumped on the hype train. I do like Bjergsen, but I guess I was more of a Doublelift fan. So when he went to Liquid, you know, I followed him. Plus, I've always been a fan of the roster of CLG that had Doublelift Pobelter, Darshan, Xsmithy, and Aframu. And so since new Team Liquid has Pobelter, Xsmithy, and Doublelift, that's 3 out of the 5 CLG that like was that first roster like I really fell in love with. So you got that. And you got Ole, who, you know, I liked him on who was he on? Immortals last season. So it was always cool to see, like, I mean, they kept 3 out of the 5 Immortals people and added Doublelift and Impact. And Impact I've been a huge fan of. And I was finally glad to see him move on to a team the past few years before this year, Cloud9, just to see him finally get some success in NA. He's a world champion, so it's not like he hasn't ever found success. And the fact that he was asked to join SKT this year and he kind of told him no, and I guess it came out later as more for a paycheck. And understandably, you're already a world champion. Go for the place that's giving you the most money. Who do you have to impress at this point? But as for the other teams going there, well, I guess I didn't really talk about Team Liquid's. Cloud9, well, I mean, we don't really know the final groups. At this point, it looks like Cloud9's going to go to the group of death, and they've been in hard situations like this before when it comes to Worlds. So it's kind of like up in the air. Like, they could make it out. There's a chance. There's like a 10 to 15% chance, and they might be the only people to make it out of groups. Team Liquid, depending on the draw, they may have a hard group. It depends if EDG get drawn early, like in the first group, then they'll have an easier time. But if they don't get drawn early, then they're going to get EDG, and that they'll probably be fighting, because I think they got drawn with Afrika. So, was it Afrika? Or no, they got drawn with KT. I think it was KT. So they get drawn with KT. So KT's probably going to get first in that group. I mean, Liquid could give them a run. I'm not sure. I mean, yes, as a big Team Liquid fan, I will say, hell yeah, they're going to give them a run. Then it's going to come down to Team Liquid or EDG, or I think they got a wild card in there. So the wild card could kaboom them, you know, like fuck up a line. I hope not. I hope Doublelift finally gets out of groups here. Like, that's all I'm hoping. Like, and the other guys too, of course. Because they just, you know, there's some players on there that they're better than, like, I just hate how Worlds comes down to look at the draw. But the argument could be made, like, these are the best people in the world. You can't expect to go far in a tournament just based off luck. You have to be strong no matter what. And it's not like the meta's changing within the tournament because they're all playing on the same patch. So it's either put up or shut up. So Team Liquid, they could go far. 100 Thieves, they have a group with Fnatic. And I believe, was it IG? So their group is arguably the easiest out of the three, because I think they could only get a wild card, I believe. I think they could only get a wild card, so it's pretty much like, if 100 Thieves show up, and you got people like Someday, who is like Worlds level, only thing worrying about 100 Thieves is, like, I mean, you got Aframu there, is like their mid laner and their ADC, or no, Ryu's their mid laner, sorry, I got him confused with Echo Fox for a second. Ryu's pretty good. He's kind of been 50-50 for me, looking at him. But they kind of have a ADC problem. Like, they don't know if they're going to use Cody Sun, who famously choked last year at Worlds, but he was also a rookie going to Worlds, and he choked on the biggest stage, and I'm sure that might aid his confidence. But he's made good plays. But they have another ADC they're using that, I'm sorry, the name escapes me, but pretty much they threw their semifinals of the summer playoffs because they tried a new ADC, didn't even have Cody Sun there due to some internal issues. So hopefully they have that worked out. Like, I'd love, like, I mean, I was a big Aframu fan, and I mean, I still, when they kicked Doublelift, I was kind of like anti-CLG, but I still liked most of the people that were still there. So I hope the best for this team. I mean, I was a 100 Thieves fan going through the year. I mean, I was really glad they made the finals the first time, and they made semifinals. Like, of the new teams that joined the org, they were my favorite. And so I'm glad to see them at Worlds, and people are arguing they don't deserve Worlds because, like, they kind of petered off the end of this season and they got in through circuit points. I mean, but they earned those points. They got second place in the first split. Second split, they got fourth. Just overall, they won because Team Liquid won first both times. I mean, they deserve it. I mean, the things are set in place. Like, people are saying there's, like, due to circuit points. I mean, circuit points gave meaning to the spring split. If you only had the people, and that's why they changed it, where your 3 representatives from Worlds came from Summer because it was your first, second, and third place teams going. Okay, yeah, that's cool because, like, you get your current strongest, you know. But then Spring Split didn't matter. And then I guess people were noticing that people weren't taking it as seriously. And it makes sense, because why burn yourself out when you just got to focus on the last 9 weeks of the season? Just do that and get it over with. So, you got that. 100 Thieves, I hope you do well. Fnatic's supposedly rumored to at least get semifinals. I mean, of the EU teams going, I'm a big Fnatic fan. I just think, like, I hate it when people overhype people. It's like that year when TSM went in 2016, saying like they were the strongest Western team, and they didn't even get out of groups. And don't overhype yourself, Western teams. You're not Korean, so it's like, you don't want to look like an idiot when you get beat down. But, so, we'll see. Anything else to talk about? Other teams, G2, I kind of hope you make it. But then again, I'm not like your biggest fan, so if you don't make it, I'm not going to die. Vitality got the group of death. I don't know. It's an SKT-less Worlds, so we don't know how it's going to go. Samsung Galaxy, who they rebranded as Gen G, are here. So, I mean, will they do a repeat? Will they be the second team to win 2, and then they'll win 2 in a row? But SKT's already got that, so if they win, it's kind of like a repeat record. So I kind of hate it for them, because it's still great to win. But as for League in itself, I've definitely, this past year alone, I've definitely enjoyed more watching League, be it YouTube content or the LCS, almost exclusive to the LCS and League content. I don't do too much playing. Like, I play a game or 2 a week. I think it's just because a lot of people that I've played with have moved on or playing other games or don't play PC games that much. So it's kind of, it's pretty sad. But I don't know. I still enjoy playing it. It's just when you play it solo, it's just there's a lot of toxic people out there in the world. And I'd just rather enjoy like games like that, team-based games with people I know, so we can kind of shoot the shit and talk shit about each other. And then build each other up, go, woo, we did it, fuck yeah. Tyler, how the fuck could you miss that hook? God damn, point blank stun. You know, shit like that. I guess that's enough on League. I'll talk on that more in the future, like in specifics. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely talk about it more, especially if I gotta do another solo episode. Only thing, like, left I have to, like, talk about, like, future game-wise, it'd be, like, Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, what do I expect out of it? Because we've talked about it as the news come out. You know, the story is a convoluted mess of Kingdom Hearts. Nobody's going to say they understand it 100%. And if you do, you're just a fanboy that reads wiki pages. It's complicated. And I don't expect everything to make sense in 3 unless they dumb some stuff down, but then people complain that's not Kingdom Hearts. I just want a good end to the story for Xehanort, and my only hope is Aqua, Terra, and Ventus get a happy ending, because my god, when they were first introduced, I didn't expect to like those characters as much as I did. I thought, okay, here's 3 new people and a spin-off but main game on the PSP, and I was like, I wonder how much bearing, other than like these people existed before. Well, my god, they lead straight into it, and I want all 3 of these children to be fine. And I'm really not scared. Like, if anybody were to sacrifice themselves, like, I feel like Aqua, Ventus, and Terra, I don't see them dying, except maybe I could see Terra, like, sacrificing himself or something, because, like, Aqua's done so much, and Ventus is so innocent, but Terra's got that, like, he's redeemed himself, and he already sacrificed, like, himself, pretty much. He sacrificed his body. So, I kind of expect if anybody were to die, I don't know, I get this feeling that Riku might bite it. Because he's gone through the steps of he's fallen to the darkness, he's redeemed, he's the person who became the master. And I just see himself like sacrificing himself, like doing it all, because he's come full circle. And he's always been the cooler version of Sora, like the one, like, kind of like the Zero to Mega Man. Like, you want to be him. He's cooler. He passed the Mark of Mastery exam. Sora, you didn't. He's mastered this. He was supposed to be the Keyblade wielder, not you. And so there's always been that theme of that. And I mean, we already know, like, Zero in the Mega Man X series has died like 17 times. Fuck. It's almost time for Riku to die. So, and I love Riku as a character. Like, I really just love this kid that, in the first game at least, before it got way too complicated, this kid that saw the world that he had and saw there was more out there, and just due to rules and regulations, there's not more. And he had an adventurous heart. He questioned things, And sometimes a lot of people view that like, is that like, if you question what is real and what's in front of you, sometimes it's not seen as this bright justice thing. And unfortunately, he turned to the darkness because that was the only way he could escape. Well, at the time, their world was being consumed by darkness, so not much else he could choose from. But alas, he did. And he had an arc, and he came around. And he's now just this badass dude in front of you. And he's got his own little journey. And now they're throwing Data Repliku in it, is what they call him. Riku Replica. So, I don't know why no more threw that in there. It's kind of like, you already have so much in this game. Why bring that up? Why? Jesus Christ. And then, like, during the Big Hero 6 trailer, the cube things, they're the cubes from Recoded, and it's like, that's just one game. You could have told people, oh, you can forget that now, like, these data things are coming back, and god damn it, not every game needs to be important. And I know you say they're important every time for marketing reasons, but we know, gosh darn it, they're not. So, whatever. That's enough on Kingdom Hearts right now. Other worlds I want to see get in. I mean, I'd love a Treasure Planet world, man. Really love a Treasure Planet world. I'd love a proper Lilo and Stitch world, like not in space, pretty much in Hawaii. But, because I could see it being a cool big level, but I feel like Pirates of the Caribbean's probably already got that island setting, and they're probably going to go something more original. So, Treasure Planet would be cool. It'd be like, but then again, you could argue that Pirates of the Caribbean's got the pirate thing going. So, yeah, actually, yeah. So, fuck you, Johnny Depp. Fuck you, Pirates of the Caribbean. You really, god damn it, Johnny Depp. Every step of the goddamn way of my life, you were there to ruin it. Fucker. Fuck you, and you beat women. So, god damn it. Fuck. I'm not going to talk about Kingdom Hearts anymore. Johnny Depp has ruined Kingdom Hearts for me for the last time. I guess I can talk about Smash Brothers. Supposedly the website had some work done on it, and the way it's worked out is whenever it had something done on the website in the past, a week later, a new fighter was announced. So people are expecting a new fighter on the 10th or 11th. So, I don't know who it could be. Since they want to reveal everybody, I mean, it could be Gino. It could be Gino. It could be, I fully expect it to be a Pokemon character, though. And I know people have, like, Incineroar is, like, very, very likely. And I'd be fine with Incineroar because people would hate him. And he's a heel, like, wrestler. He is meant to be hated. So I'd be fine with that. Like, he thrives on that. I'd actually love that. I'd love him or Decidueye. Or Decidueye, as some people say. And some people say Decidueye or Decidueye doesn't have a good chance because of Pokken. And if that's the reason why, I'm going to be real mad, because I'd like a dedicated Archer character. Because, like, Link's got a few of the things in it, and Mega Man's, like, a ranged-only person, like Decidueye. I've always said Decidueye. I know it's Decidueye, but I don't know. Whenever, like, I play RPGs, I always say the thing that I've always said, like, honest to God, when I played Gold and Silver, I didn't know what the word sacred was, and so Ho-Oh to me was using the move Sack Red Fire. And I was like, I thought it was an abbreviation thing, because, like, Pokemon had weird abbreviations. I was like, okay, so I just didn't know what, I thought it was like some SAC company, like SAC Red. I don't know. Fuck you. I was like, fucking, what? How old was I when that game came out? Like, 9? So, yeah, fuck you. So, yeah. Well, I mean, I fully expect a Pokemon character. Like, it's just an easy, get it out of the way. Like, Gino, you would want to show off during, like, what I think is going to be a Smash Direct. So save him for that, be like really hype. I really want him in, because I loved Mario RPG as a kid. It's one of my first RPGs. Oh, fuck, it's hot here in the void. Like, I'm surprised there aren't voidling creatures or, like, electric snakes coming at me. Because, Jesus Christ, it's hot. It's hot as hell. Another game I've been playing is, past couple weeks, I've been charging through Dragon Quest XI, and I've hit about 27 hours in, and I'm literally right in front of finishing the first act. I've got all the orbs, I gotta go through the forest, and supposedly that's when, like, something, like, life-altering happens, so I'm ready to charge for it. I've been doing most of the side quests I've run along. Like, if they're within the area, I'll do, because I've heard to get the platinum, you only need to do 40, and I think, I can't remember, I've done at least, like, I don't know. I think 15. I don't know. It feels like it. Something like that, or something. Because I heard like some go away if you after part. So I'm assuming something like world changing happens. As somebody who's only played Dragon Quest VIII and only really looked into the series through Nintendo Power, like I remember Dragon Warrior on the Game Boy. I remember seeing the artwork for that in Nintendo Power and just thinking, man, I want that game, and I never got it because I recognized the Dragon Ball art style. And I was like, I want it. And, I played 8, and it was for the Final Fantasy 12 demo, and I wanted something for Christmas. And it was an RPG, and I really, really enjoyed it. But then, 9 was on the DS, and that was in a weird time for me when the DS came, because it was I was older, and I had a job, so, games were, through, my money, and I guess I just quit it at the time. I didn't buy many mobile games. I was like, I'll save my money for a PC game or a console game, because in my mind those were more worth it, graphics and everything. So I didn't exactly jump on 9. I really should. And I bought the remakes for 7 and 8 on 3DS. I want to replay 8 now that I'm older, because I don't remember a whole ton of the game. Because I know I beat it, but I know it literally took me forever. It was just my sideline game forever. I'd play an hour or two here or there. And 7, I've heard it's 150 hours, so that just intimidated me. I just bought it to support it, so Square Enix would bring other games over. But, I'm loving 11 so far. There's been a few tough battles, but I've really enjoyed it. I haven't been grinding or anything. Just so far been really solid. I've really missed a good RPG. And I'm trying. I hope I have it finished by the time Red Dead Redemption comes out. I should be able to if I don't get distracted by other things. Mega Man 11 I played. I beat it. I want to talk about that with John, see what his thoughts are about it. I'll save that for John. I'll give that to John. For John. And Tyler ain't gonna have shit to say about it unless he watched a random Twitch stream piece of shit. I guess I could talk about that. John and Tyler, I don't know how you guys feel about them as co-hosts. I just feel I want to start implementing if we were in an actual studio, don't have your phone on you. And I know I can have my phone on me because I respond. Tyler literally will jump out of conversations, and I know you've heard it. I've heard it a ton as editing the podcast. What? Yeah, what? Oh, I'm Tyler, what? And then John just will go silent, and so I don't mean to control the conversation 90% of the time. I just feel I just want them to talk more. And when they do talk, they have a lot of stuff to say. They're both interesting fellas. They're two of my best friends in this entire world, ranked 7th and 17th respectively. I have top 20 best friends. I won't tell who's who, but I just want them to talk more. And I guess fun. And I don't like to go in here with a set list of shit to talk about because it's on the off topic. But I guess we might have to start doing that, but I don't want to do that because then it's if we didn't get to something, then I like to fuck around. I like to do bits, and I know I'm not funny, but sometimes I have fun doing them. And I feel I just don't have two people that'll join along, so I want to get to a point where we can have Chad and Reed in more regularly. I didn't intend for the podcast to just be us three. In fact, I originally envisioned it to be I was the only consistent person on the podcast just because it's on my channel, and I don't know. We recorded at John's house, so of course John's going to be there, and then Tyler's just usually there along for the ride, so it'd just be a rotating cast. That way it's a little bit different. Sometimes you eat a hamburger for lunch, but the next day you get a chicken sandwich, I guess is the best way I can fucking describe it. And then other days you get a burrito. I don't know. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm going to physically assault John. And John, I know you're listening to this right now. Look out, buddy. It's coming. Anime I've been watching. I generally almost exclusively watch most of my anime nowadays. Unless I'm really hyped for the series. Well, even then, My Hero, I save it for at the gym. And I watch it on the treadmill. Because it gives me motivation. So yeah, My Hero season 3 just ended. Season 4 confirmed for next year ? Supposedly, rumor is they might take a year off to let the manga build up a buffer. But I feel they might do a season 4 sooner, just because they want to ride this hype. They don't want to kill the hype. Because I know people like Attack on Titan, but you know that wait in between killed a lot of the hype. So, we'll see about that. And another anime I just started watching while at the gym is Kuroko no Basuke. Kuroko's Basketball. I don't know why. It's pretty random for me. But I like sports anime. Like, it first started, like, really me watching Prince of Tennis. And then it made me fall in love with it way back in the day. Like, 8th grade, 2006, 2007, something like that. So, since then, like, I watched iShield 21. Earlier this year, I watched Haikyuu while at the gym. And I really liked it. And I'm getting that same, like, feeling from Kuroko. So, I'm, like, 10 episodes in. 9. I think I started the 10th episode. I can't remember. So, outside of that, you know, I don't know. I've just been doing that, doing the gym, an hour on the treadmill usually. Gets about 2-ish, most of 3 episodes. Generally, you know. So, I'm taking it at a slow pace, but it keeps me focused. Whew, boy. You know, it's hot. It's hotter than hell. It's hotter than my ball sack. I really am starting to feel like the room where we were at Dragon Con. Like, I'm sweating balls. So, I'm gonna try and, find a way to escape. I don't know if I can. I don't know. You guys really might have to deal with Tyler and John for another podcast, and I'm sorry. I wish I could maintain more and keep this a longer podcast for you, but it's so fucking hot. I'm about to pass out. So, this has been Justin signing off on a solo Voidcast from the Void, Tales from the Void. Tales from the Void with your boy. So you guys do a good job, and I want you all to remember me if I don't come back. I love each and every one of you. Fuck you, Tyler.